Hello, I'm here today to talk about my honors eighth grade science class. My name is Miss Karen McGuigan, or I frequently go by Mrs. Mack. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. This is kind of an intro of what I'm going to be going over for back to school night. So this is a little bit about me. I know over the past couple weeks I've been learning a lot about your son or your daughter, your child in class. So this is just a little background, educational background, and some of my likes and hobbies. So I've received a BS in biology and secondary education from the University of Scranton, as well as my master's in curriculum and instruction. This is my 13th year here at Delsey Middle School, even though I have some experience and I taught at the high school for a couple years as well. I'm married and have two little boys. I love going on adventures with my family and friends, and like to really stay busy when I'm not in the classroom. And those are some of my interests and hobbies. Anything really outdoors is kind of what I like. Class expectations. It's really, and as I told the kids at the beginning of the school year, it's all about being respectful of you and others, being respectful to the teacher, being respectful to school Delsey school property. So that's kind of summarized in my class expectation. We work together as a team. We are more successful as a team than we are individually. These two, I'm sure you're very familiar with, Google Classroom as well as Remind. Many of you guys are already signed up for my Remind. So that's really a great thing. I also, on the flyer that you're going to get, I also have the handouts. If you still need to get synced up to my Remind, it's usually a pretty quick, easy ad, so that you can get the text alerts from myself about homework assignments, projects, quizzes, tests, etc. I like to just send out reminds for the kids outside of school hours so that they remember that they have to do science work in order for them to be successful. Google Classroom is also the digital platform that we use. We are a Google school. We have the Chromebooks. They have their Delsey email. And so it kind of syncs up very nicely with Google Classroom. And everything every day is always posted on Google Classroom. On course is how they view their grades. A couple kind of formatting things. If you see a zero or an X, that basically means that the assignment is missing or incomplete, and that could be for a variety of different reasons. We don't accept late work in honors, so maybe they were absent the day it was due. Maybe they were quarantining or whatever it may be, but they're going to be responsible for making up that work. Some zeros will stay zeros. If they've been in school and they just didn't do the assignment, that's what a zero would stand for. We personally, as teachers, do not have your contact to get synced up to Encore. So if you need information, please see somebody in the main office. Somebody in guidance, the principal, secretaries, they can help you with Encourse. Homework, like I said, they always should have some sort of review homework depending on what content we're reviewing. Like this week, we're doing metric measurement and safety and safety, metric measurement, science tools, right? So that's kind of what we've been talking about over the past week. So they should be reviewing that on a nightly basis. Sometimes students don't think that they have to review, and they only consider homework if it's written homework. And that's okay too, right? As long as they come to class and are present, they shouldn't have to review too much. But it could be a variety of different things. Review your notes. Finishing lab questions is a very popular one. Doing a weekly science homework. I assign on a Monday, it's due on a Friday. So there's a lot of different things that they would be responsible for homework. And then just a little heads up that we have homework clinic every day after school. From 3:25 to 4:50, and then they can take the bus home. So if you want them to stay in a quiet space after school, so that they can get their work done, that would be successful. I know my day is Friday, so I will be after every Friday if they need specific science help. So like I said, no late work is accepted in honors classes, and everything is posted in Google Classroom. Every day there will be a video explaining what we did that day, a detailed description of what we did. The videos, the games, anything that we went over that day is always posted in Google Classroom. So if they're absent, there should be no kind of question as to what they have to do for science. I know many students have become a little bit more responsible and now have emailed me, when they're going to be out or they overslept or whatever it may be. And then I just say, look in Google Classroom, your assignment is there. You'll be expected to complete it as well. Again, no late work will be accepted. You need to, once you're finished, if you were absent or on quarantine, you need to email us and let us know that the assignment is completed. So if no email, no grade for the assignment. Okay, there's no other way for me to know that it is completed. And then, of course, they can always set up an AE appointment first thing in the morning, which is basically during homeroom if they need to complete something. The Delcy retake policy, I like to throw this out there for you guys as parents. They can retake any assessment, which is basically a quiz or a test, below a 69. And then what would happen is they have to fill in or complete this form. What are you going to do differently? Why were you not successful? And then you schedule a time during AE to make it up. And then you would take an average of the two scores. So whatever, if you get, a 50 and 100, you get a 75. Okay. So that's kind of, the benefit of the doubt. It's student responsibility to come and say, I want to do a retake. I'm not going to hand out a retake form for every kid that gets below a 69, right? We have to prepare them for high school and make sure that they're prepared. So if they want to do a retake, it's up to them to come to the teacher and say that they would like a retake form to fill it in. These next couple of slides are going to be about the syllabus. Why I teach what I teach. I tell the kids all the time, I love what I do, but there's also a curriculum and standards that I have to follow based on a state level and a district level. So this is kind of just an overview of what this course is all about and what we're going to be studying throughout the course of the year. Grades are important, and the grading policy actually changed this past summer. So in terms of the letter grades, so if you look at this chart, you can see every letter grade basically has a 10-point gap. Whereas in the past it didn't. So it actually benefits the students a little bit more. And then you can see your percentages. So test projects in your MPA is 30%, quizzes are 20%, labs are 20%, homework classwork is 30%. And then this is the GPA scale. You'll see it more when you get into OnCourse, but what it basically correlates to. We're going to kind of steer away from the letter grades, even though they're helpful, and get them ready for the GPA scale. So you'll see that in OnCourse. The last couple slides are going to be what topics we're going to cover. Scientific processes, which includes anything, what we've been covering: safety, our prefixes and our suffixes, our metric system, the scientific method. That's kind of basically problem solving, found under Unit 1, which we're going to be probably quizzing out next week. Characteristics of life in cells, both of them kind of loop together, and this is basically all of the first marking period. Then we're going to jump over to genetics and traits, which takes us about a month or two, a month and a half to get through. And then the human body, which also takes us about another month. So that's genetics and traits, and then the human body. Not all the systems of the body, but most of them. Earth science, fossil record, and natural selection. These are all important. This is kind of more marking period 3 of what we will be covering then. And then last but not least, this is like the 4th marking period: energy flow and ecosystems, ecology, renewable, non-renewable energy, and how we kind of portray that in our world. And then our engineering piece, which is our human impact on the earth. So, what kind of engineering, how do we link science, technology, and engineering? And of course, the concept of global warming. So this is my last slide. This is my contact slide. So if you weren't able to come in tonight to back to school night, feel free to contact me. There's my room location, my direct line to the phone in the classroom. A lot of times I won't answer if I'm teaching, obviously, but you can leave a message and I can get back to you on my free period. And then, of course, email. We check multiple times a day, so that might be a little bit easier at getting a quicker response than a phone call. But whatever you prefer is fine. If you need to reach out in any way, please feel free to do so. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any additional questions, I hope to hear from you soon.